Michael Jackson didn't just die, he was silenced. And the fingerprints on his final moments? They're hidden in plain sight, buried in lawsuits, sealed testimonies, and one chilling 911 call the world forgot. June 25, 2009, a date etched in pop culture history. The king of pop is found motionless in his mansion. In hours, the world mourns, but those closest to him? They ask a different question. Why did the most famous man on earth die alone, under the care of a doctor no one really knew? And why does it feel like someone wanted him gone long before that night? Michael Jackson wasn't preparing to retire. He was preparing to reclaim his crown. A 50-show This Is It tour in London. Every seat sold out in minutes. But at rehearsals, something felt off. Dancers said he looked frail. His voice was fading. He confessed to friends he was being watched, manipulated, even poisoned. He didn't trust those around him. He fired his manager, lawyers, and handlers. Enter Dr. Conrad Murray, handpicked by the tour company AEG Live, and paid $150,000 a month. Murray wasn't board certified. He was drowning in debt. And suddenly, he had sole access to the most valuable man in music history. A man who owned half of Sony/ATV's publishing rights, including the Beatles catalog. The official story was simple. Jackson couldn't sleep. Murray gave him propofol, a dangerous anesthetic, in a non-hospital setting. Jackson overdosed. Murray panicked, waited too long to call 911. In 2011, Dr. Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. He served just 2 years. The media moved on. The world kept spinning. But behind the headlines, something didn't add up. The LAPD obtained surveillance footage from Jackson's mansion. But hours before and after his death, the tape mysteriously stopped recording. To this day, no one knows what really happened in those final moments.
The coroner's report revealed no fingerprints of Jackson on the vials or IVs. If he self-administered the fatal dose, why weren't his prints there? Only Dr. Murray's were found. And what about the timeline? Emergency services weren't called immediately. Over 80 minutes passed between the alleged overdose and the 911 call. Why? Some believe Jackson was already dead before help was even called. Others suspect his body was moved. In a 2013 wrongful death lawsuit filed by Jackson's mother against AEG Live, internal emails emerged. One executive wrote, "MJ is deteriorating fast. We need to remind him who's paying the doctor." Another said, "He's scared. He's dying." These weren't sent after the tragedy. These were sent weeks before he died. Murray himself claimed AEG refused to fund the equipment necessary to monitor Jackson's vitals. Instead of hospital standard care, the world's most famous man was left alone with a bottle of propofol and one unqualified doctor. The jury ruled AEG not liable, but the damage was done. The emails proved what many feared. Jackson was being pushed to perform, even if it killed him. Long before his death, Jackson voiced fear of corporate sabotage. In 2002, he told a crowd, "Sony, Tommy Mottola is the devil. They want my catalog. They want me out." He'd also said, "I'm afraid someone's trying to kill me. I'm not safe." A few close friends even claimed Michael had written notes, voicing fears he would be murdered and it would be made to look like an accident. One of those notes? It disappeared from his estate. The others? Locked away by family. In the weeks before his death, Jackson reportedly tried to amend his will. His lawyers said he wanted to make changes, including removing certain names from his estate. But he died before signing. And the existing will? Some say it was never signed in his presence. Others claim the version used in court is not the original. After his death, the estate boomed, from nearly bankrupt to over $2 billion in value. His image, unreleased music, and licensing became gold. The estate profited. Ike profited. Sony profited. But Michael was gone. In 2023, a private investigator leaked an alleged FBI file about Jackson. It claimed the Bureau monitored him between 2003 and 2005 during his trial for child abuse. But it also stated that death threats were intercepted, that his phone was tapped, that handlers in his inner circle were reporting back to others outside the music world. One line read, "Subject is aware of infiltration. Threat level escalated." Was Jackson being watched? Controlled? Even warned? Why wasn't the FBI ever involved in his final days? Michael once said in an interview, "I know something is going to happen to me. I just hope the world knows the truth when it does." What if his death was not an accident? What if it was a slow, intentional breakdown, engineered by pressure, manipulation, and fear? Dr. Conrad Murray served his time. AEG walked free. Sony reclaimed catalog rights. But the king of pop? Silenced forever. Maybe he wasn't paranoid. Maybe we just weren't listening.